Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club meeting. It's July 21st, and we're so glad that you are able to join us here from wherever you are. We have people from all over the world. We have people from Indonesia, Australia, Thailand, and wherever you are who will join us later are from, we welcome you. Before we start our meeting, I would like to invite us all to watch the housekeeping video. All right, so to open this club meeting, I would like to invite our club president, Toastmaster Benjamin Whitaker.
All right, welcome. We are here and it is amazing opportunity. I just got done with the class exactly at 7 and now I'm back here. That is the greatness of online meetings. We can meet anywhere in the world and we don't have to drive anywhere. And our word of the day is going to be revitalize. So the idea to kind of have a new life in vitality is kind of what our whole meeting's about with our new exco this year. We even have our young person who's going to be our Toastmaster. So she's revitalizing our club. She's young, fresh blood, right? Do a little nod. Yes. Right. So that's the idea. We're here to welcome everybody. And from like Natalie said, from all over the world. And that's fantastic. So hopefully more people will trickle in. And of course, we have a special speaker today, which I think anytime we get an opportunity to host a world-class speaker that's going to be competing at the top level, that is very rare in Toastmasters. There's a lot of world-class speakers, but trying to get one to come specifically to your club and present is something that you got to cherish. It doesn't matter how small our group is or how big our group gets. It's still an opportunity for us to be active listeners. And the fact that he wants a round robin speech or evaluation is amazing because he wants your input. Doesn't matter if you're like a district champion twice over or a brand new Toastmaster, right? Your input's valuable, and that's why he's here to kind of present us with just new perspective that he might not see. And so take that responsibility. Don't take it lightly. Like, it's awesome. Your voice is valuable. Your opinion is valuable, and use it if you get a chance. So with that being said, I want to hand our club over to tonight's meeting to our Toastmaster. Yes.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're from. I hope everyone's feeling as great as they're looking right now, because that seems to be our theme for the day. It's embracing health. Ladies and gentlemen, our well-being, whether it be physical or mental well-being, I'm sure that we are all prioritizing it. It's in everything that we do. It's in the food we eat. It's in our habits, our environment, to our happiness, our state of mind, because both physical and our mental well-being go hand in hand with each other. And today we are going to be delving deep into this topic, and we're going to be sharing about our own experiences, about maintaining our well-being, how we are embracing it in 2024. And in a second, I'm going to ask one person to share about their health resolution, but I'll touch on that later. Um, yes, so I'm going to share a little bit story about something that my PE teacher once told me, and I've never forgotten to this day. So I am not much of a PE gal, and to be frank, not a lot of students are. But one day we were playing dodgeball. We were playing dodgeball, and we were being graded. And it was the techniques, the forms, whatever. And I kind of sucked at it, so I wasn't really enjoying it. So when my friends and I were done with it, we immediately sat down on the grass and we started chit-chatting because we just could not wait for the PE class to be over. And our PE teacher immediately came to us, scolded us, no, get up, go do something, work out. And we got up, we stood up and started running around doing whatever, just to get him off our back. And we started running around, we started sweating it out. And at the end of the session, we did feel great. And our PE teacher came to us and he said, from now on, I do not want to see anyone during my PE session sitting for more than 5 minutes. And he said, it's not about your forms or techniques and dodgeball or whatever. I mean, I do recognize that because it's in the curriculum, but what is most important is that you spend this time that you have with your friends. You're having fun and you are working out. You're striving to be healthier together with your friends. And this is something that you will come to miss later on when you're not in school anymore. And I'm now homeschooled. I don't have my PE class anymore. I don't have my PE teacher. And yes, I can give him credit for his little pep talk there that yes, I did take my PE classes for granted because now I have made it my resolution to stay active, to keep working out, even though I don't have that designated time to do sports anymore. But I try to spare at least 30 minutes or 15 minutes each day to do something, to just exercise or play badminton outside with my sister or go for a jog, go for a walk, whatever, just to keep myself healthy and active, even though, again, I do not have that PE class anymore. I did take that for granted. So that is my little story of the day, and it is all about embracing health today. And I would like one person to share about what is your health resolution in 2024, as we are halfway into the year now. What are your goals? What have you been doing, or what are you aiming to do? What next steps are you going to take? And yeah, it can be both physical and mental health because we are all about embracing the different kinds of well-being today. So would anyone like to volunteer and share about their resolutions of the year? Yes, DTM, Alicia Curtis, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Kasia. I would love to finally get the honest truth to what I actually have. I've got an autoimmune disorder and it is thought to be lupus, which I really hope it isn't. But if it is, yes, that's cool. But this has been going on for 2 years now, and it's this mystery illness that I continuously get, and I'm always sick, and I just want to get an answer. So my goal for this year is actually to finally become the human pincushion again in the next week or so, get the needles and work out what I actually have so that I can set myself up for success, not only for this 6 to 12 months, because it could take up to 6 to 12 months to get properly diagnosed and working out, but also for the future, because unfortunately at this time I can no longer work in a full-time position or any type of position. So I want to try and set myself up for success and working out what direction I can go in and making sure that I have the ability to go in a direction that allows me to be able to work from home, even if it's 1 or 2 hours a day, or even an hour a day, or even 3 or 4 hours a week. I don't know, to try and work out what I can do with my life and how I'm going to manage it. Because I can tell you, after 2 years of having chronic illness of arthritis, deterioration of the spine, and every other disease that seems to be happening with me, I just want an answer. So that is my goal. to stop being diseased. We'll be
Thank you
diseased,
so
but
much,
finding out the
DTM
disease.
Alicia.
Thanks, Keisha.
We're all praying for your health. We're all hoping that you can get your answer, as you said. You just want to get your answer. Yeah, we're all hoping that everything works out well for you in the end. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, I don't think there is anyone new who is coming to the meeting, but I'm just going to give a brief outline of our structure tonight for the meeting. First, we're going to be having the prepared speech session. In this prepared speech session, we have a special speaker who will be delivering his contest practice speech. So that will be really interesting. And there will be a round robin evaluation where we will all be able to put our 2 cents in and give him an evaluation on his speech. After that, after the prepared speech session, this is something that's really special as we are heading into a new term. We are welcoming a new Board of Executive Officer, or EXCO, and this will be led by Area G1 Director, Toastmaster Apri, so that we'll be waiting for that session. But after this EXCO installation, we're going to be heading into the main session, which is, of course, the table topics. And then last but not least, but is the most important session of the day also, which is the evaluation, where we will wrap up everything and get evaluated on the goings on of the meeting tonight. So that is a brief outline of our structure for the meeting. And now I would like to welcome again our GE, who is DTM Alicia, to introduce herself as well as her team. To General Evaluator, please welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much, Keisha. My name is Alicia. You all know me pretty much, and I'll be your general evaluator for tonight. I will not be using the PowerPoints. I'll be doing actually the spoken variety tonight. I just don't have the capacity tonight to do the favorite version of it. But I will now introduce my team, and I will introduce our Arcana. Our Arcana tonight is, of course, our wonderful area director, Apri Vidodo. Please welcome Apri.
Thank you. This is Toastmaster Alicia, and hello everyone. So tonight I will serve as a counselor. So my job is basically to note words or sound, like a filler sound, like and that are used as a crowns or pause filler by anyone who speak. So to reduce filler sound, I suggest you to use pause and try to slow down, especially if you are still thinking about what you want to say. So yeah, I think that's all for my quick introduction for my role. Back to General Evaluator, Toastmaster Alicia.
Thank you very much, Apri. All right, we now go to our grammarian, and he just got voluntold recently in the last 5 minutes, and we always like being voluntold because it revitalizes our position in any meeting. Right, Ben Whitaker?
Yes, grammarian. Grammarian is teacher of the meeting, I think, where I get to correct grammar errors, pronunciation errors, but also, give you some positive feedback on awesome uses of the English language. I'll be taking notes, paying attention a little bit more than I would have been 5 minutes ago with my role as a grammarian. Back to you, GE.
All right, excellent. So just a recap, Ben will now fill in as the grammarian, which he'll look at the use of the English language. The Arcana looks at the lexical and non-lexical fillers, or the filler words. And of course, last but not least, and one of my favorite roles is Nancy. Nancy is going to be our timer. Nancy, could you please explain your role as our timer tonight?
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster. My role as a timer is to monitor the time during the table topic, prepared speech, and also the evaluation section. I will show the green background, which means you have reached the minimum time of your speaking. Yellow background, it means that you are in the middle of your speech. And red background, that means you have to stop speaking and you still have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. For today's section, the first one is for prepared speech. The green background will be seen at 5 minutes, the yellow background at 6, and The red background will be seen at 7 minutes. For table topic, you will see my green background at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5 minutes, and red background at 2 minutes. And for the evaluation section, you will see my green background at 2 minutes, yellow at 2.5 minutes, and red background at 3 minutes, which is the maximum time of your speaking. And at the end of the meeting, I will be back to present my report. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Nancy. I just want to ask with the speakers, because I ran into this problem yesterday at a Toastmasters meeting. Someone was actually colorblind. So I want to make sure that everyone can see the green, the yellow, and red, and they actually understand the green, the yellow, and red, and if they're blind. Okay. All good? All right, fantastic. I just wanted to point that out because it is really important that we are inclusive in the diversity, equity, inclusivity thing, and make sure that everyone can see and understand. So thank you very much. My role as the general evaluator will be to provide feedback. I'll also lead the session for Furzi Gatako. Nancy, I will send you a message in the chat about instructions for me. You don't have to do it for Furzi, but just for me so that I can look at something for him in his speech. But otherwise, we look forward to conducting the meeting at the end. So I'll lead the session for Furzi's evaluation, and I'll draw the crowd on how to actually evaluate this speech. I have put into the chat box the International Speech Contest ballot. Please have a look at it, but more importantly, look at the back of the ballot, not the front of the ballot, the back of the ballot, because that's where all the devil in the detail is, and that is what we're looking for when we're judging, or we're going to be providing the feedback, and that is what Furzi has to meet with his criteria of his speech against the tick box on the back of the ballot. So can I just get a thumbs up to see that everyone has actually received the ballot in the chat box? Yay, okay, all right, I'm getting, yep, I've seen it. I will put it in again, and I will now hand conduct of the meeting back to Keisha, who will lead the rest of the session, and I'll be back at the end with my team of technical evaluators. Thank you, Keisha.
Amazing. Thank you so much to our general evaluator as well as her incredible team. Now, I think without getting any further ado, let's start with our first session of the day, which is prepared speech. For our first speaker, as I've briefly mentioned, this one is very special because he will be delivering a special project for the semifinal of World Champion Public Speaking. That is so amazing. We get to hear it all the way from Thailand, Toastmaster Percy Gotuako. I see, I hear. I see, I hear, Toastmaster Percy Gotuako.
How long did it take for you to hear those three magical words? I love you. I waited over 20 years to hear it from the most important woman in my life, my mother. Now I get it. There's 7 kids in the family, 3 dogs. She's got enough to worry about. She doesn't even have 20 seconds to breathe. But still, don't we want to know? I did. And it started at the age of 13. As I'm heading out the door, my mother stops me and says, Furzi, I need you to do the floors today. What? There's 7 kids tromping through this house. It's going to take all day to do the floors. But I did the floors on my hands and knees. And while I'm up to my neck in soaps and suds, my mother comes back over and says, Furzi, what kind of cookies do you like? Oh, I don't know, Mom. Attitude. At the age of 13, that's all we got. Attitude. I don't know, Mom. Oreos, okay? I like Oreos. It was a guess. I didn't really like Oreos. But being a poor family, we don't usually have cookies. So I just said the first thing that came to mind and went back to the floors. A few hours later, my mom comes back from grocery shopping. Now it's my turn to put the groceries away. The milk here, the vegetables there, the cookies. And what does 13-year-old Furzy do? Hey, everyone, we got cookies. You see, I see, but I didn't see. It wasn't until a few years later that I heard. I heard what I had been waiting for, but it wasn't in my family. No. I had to go to my friend's house during college days. We go there for the holidays, and after dinner, my friend Tom says to his mother, "Thanks for dinner, Mom. I love you." What? Did you hear that? He said it. I mean, I've seen it said in movies and I've heard it in television shows, but I'd never seen it right there in front of me. Real life. Now I know what it was that I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go home, and if my mom won't say it to me, then I'll say it to her. I get on the phone. "Hello, Mom. It's me, Furzy. Yes, number 5 son. Yeah, I know. I haven't called in a long time. I'm sorry. But listen, Mom, I got something really important to tell you. I lost your phone number, Mom. Yes, I lost your phone number. That's why I haven't called. I'm so sorry." "Okay, bye. I'll call you next week." Wait. No, Mom. Mom, I just need to huh? No, I don't need money. Mom, will you just listen? I just needed to tell you I love you. I listened. Silence. Finally, she says, "Thank you." Click. After 20 years, this is what I get. Thank you. Click. Aren't there rules about this? If I say it, aren't you supposed to say it back? Thank you. Click. I heard it, but I didn't hear it. But I kept saying it. I kept saying it to my mother. "I love you. I love you," every chance I could get. And soon she started saying it back. And soon we started having brothers and sisters saying it also. I was making progress. A few years later, I said to my mother, "Hey, Mom, do you remember when I first said I love you and you said thank you?" And I laughed. And she said, "Furzy, I was just glad that you called." Oh. I'll try to call more often, Mom. I heard her that time. All my life, I had been seeing it, but not seeing it with my heart. And I had been hearing it, but not hearing it. How many times have we said something but not meant it from the heart? We could spend our entire lives wasting it looking for those 3 words. And instead, it could be right there in front of us if we see it in the right way and we hear it in the right way. It was there all along. I just needed to see it. Who in your life needs to see it? Who in your life needs to hear it? Contest chair.
Yeah, give a round of applause to Toastmaster Percy Gotuako. That was an amazing speech. Of course, it's for the world champion of public speaking. But now I'm going to hand it over to our GE because now we're going to be doing the round robins evaluation. ETM Alicia, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Keisha. Okay, so I put the International Speech Contest ballot form into the chat box. Now, I have been given instructions by Percy on how he actually wants feedback. So I'm going to base the feedback around what he has requested, and I'm taking the last 3.5 minutes of the speech into account for him. So the last half of the speech, and we're going to draw the feedback from there. Percy, are you open to constructive feedback and not all pretty, lovely, fluffy stuff? Okay, awesome. All right, so guys, you can be constructive tonight. Awesome. Okay. So some of the questions I will ask, and it's based around the judge's ballot, but also in delivery, content, and language. Content is worth 50 marks. Delivery is worth 30 marks. And language is worth 20 marks. So the importance is around the content, and I will start with one thing. Percy used the prop, okay, of this. This is around delivery. So Percy used the prop of the Oreo cookie. He used what we call the sleight of hand. How effective does anyone feel that sleight of hands with the first part of the portion of the Oreo cookies versus the second part? Does anyone have any feedback on that? Ben?
So it's only specifically to that. I can't add any extra stuff.
Yeah, you can add extra stuff, but I want to focus on certain elements of it because he's actually asked for this.
Okay, so the part where you revealed the cookie, right? Now, I assume, are you going to be? I don't want to assume. Are you going to be online or are you going to be in person delivering the speech?
I'll be in person.
All right, so online it's not really good because you stayed in the corner of the camera so long, and it's like you're here, you're here, you're here, you're here, and it's like I don't know, like 20 seconds or 25 seconds in this spot talking. So in person, obviously you'll have the stage, and then you'll be able to see, and I assume you'll pull like a rabbit out of the hat, probably a little bit differently from that aspect. So from an online perspective, it was like just too much in one spot and not really getting back to center as you were talking. So hopefully when you deliver the actual speech, in my opinion, if you find a way to get to one side of the stage, that you can kind of find a way to get back to center maybe a little quicker, or even if you don't have to go to the side. I know like in Toastmasters, they kind of have to use stage presence in a certain way. But with the online aspect, it was way too much in the corner of the camera. And can I add one little caveat? Or no?
We've got other people that we need to ask as well. So I want to be very specific that we get around to everyone. And if we've got enough time at the end, we can ask them. All right. So the next question is, we did have a bit of subtleness in the humor, which he added in the speech. How effective did you find the humor in the speech? I'm going to ask Natalie about that.
Yeah, I think the humor can still be added on. I just had a thought, maybe you can add analogy when you're scrubbing and, the soap and suds and whatever, like scrubbing like something. I haven't got any idea right now, but let me think about it. Another thing that I feel like can be made more brief is when you're calling your mom, like when you can't say I love you and you lost the phone number. Maybe you can remove like one line from there. The money part didn't really hit me, honestly. Like, no, I'm not asking for like money. Yeah, in that part during the call. I feel like if it's shorter, maybe the impact will be like more bang bang.
Okay, right, no problem. Okay, one of the things that I felt personally was missing, especially with the I love you and in certain portions of the second part of the speech, Verzi, was the pausing, especially to bring out the emphasis of I love you to really hone in that message. Did anyone else feel that there was not enough pause to really emphasize getting that message across, especially in the phone call, because there was the phone call to the mum and there was the hesitation of getting to the I love you, but there was a emphasis from the phone call into the next portion. Is there a reason to not leave us in the silence of about 2 to 3 seconds? No one can answer that? Okay, all right, I'll go to the next thing. Did anyone relate to this personally? Could anyone relate to this personally? Because I'm not sure about you. Yep, Natalie, did you want to express how you related to this personally about the I love you context?
I think the message in general and also the I love you story, I think that's the strongest part of the speech, because the relatability, at least for me and maybe for many of us, it's very the relatability is high. We often, yeah, just like the message, and the hook, I see, I hear. I think instead of I love you, the title should be I see, I hear.
So one of the interesting things, and I was at the club meeting the other day, Thursday, when one of the members pointed out from the Asian perspective, and I wanted to bring it up tonight because we're in an Asian audience tonight, was the emphasis of I love you. I want to ask this particular audience in Indonesia, can you relate to loving your parents and saying I love you to the parents? Please be open with this, because it is something really important for Furzy to try and get for a universal and world audience to be able to understand this. I can see Fifi.
Yes, the story actually relates because my mom also live far away from the place that I live right now. But I never say I love you to my mom. When I say I love you, I say to my children and my husband. What I say to my mom is, Mom, I miss you. I miss you so much. That's I say to my mom.
Okay, cool. Can I ask someone else in the audience? Nancy, can you relate to this speech at all from an I love you perspective, especially from an Asian perspective?
Well, from my daily life itself, actually, I don't relate with the word I love you, because me and my mom, I don't say I love you to my mom, and my mom also don't say I love you to me. We often show it into probably action, like directly action.
Okay, so there's like an action involved. So Furzy, I think you might want to, because you know how that comment was brought up the other day. I just wanted to see how it relates to this particular audience in Indonesia. Ben, being American, I want to know if you can relate to it.
Oh, so like I live in Bali, Indonesia. My parents in the U.S. No, because our family is like a big hugging family, and at the end of any conversation with my mom or my dad, sister, doesn't matter. It's I love you, I love you, I love you all the time. So and like I'm not really like a lovey-dovey kind of person. I'm very serious and stoic, but when it comes to family, it's not an awkward thing at all. So having a difficult time saying it, like I understand it living in Asia. My wife is Indonesian and her parents live with us most of the year. And I don't ever really see them hug a lot, except when they say maybe goodbye. And I've never heard them say, I love you, mom, or I love you, dad. It's not really a thing. So I think, like I said, with the Asian perspective, it's something really relatable. But when it comes to like white Americans, it's definitely something in our vocabulary. So I don't relate to it in that concept, but I do relate to the long distance phone call about, hey, mom, no, I don't need any money. So for me, that like what you talked about earlier about the humor aspect, I get the subtle humor. Like I kind of chuckled because it's like, oh, I got it. But again, that's subtlety and humor like even with me trying to be humorous here, very difficult to get across with a different audience. But with American audiences, they're going to get that subtle humor really, really well. And you're not going to get a laugh out loud belly laugh. You'll get that chuckle, really, I think, most cases.
Okay, excellent. Did anyone feel that they understood what the message, and if the message was woven in from the start, the middle, and the end? Can I just get a show of hands for this one? Did everyone feel that the message was very easy to follow? Hands up if you could follow the message. Okay, majority of us could follow it. Okay, so Fezzi, that seems to be acknowledged. Now, one of the things with this particular contest is 45% of the marks are marked around a purpose. So what is the action that the speaker wants us to focus on? Do they want to inspire us? Do they want to motivate us? Do they want to inform, persuade, or entertain? I just want to get a show of hands, and I'm not going to go into full detail because Fuzzy, at the end of the day, it's the judges who will determine whether that is the action that's required, but you'll probably want to know what they're wanting to do, because then that can help you build your speech for the next time. Who felt inspired by this speech? So put your hands up, or if you can use the react button to tell me if you felt inspired by this speech. 1, 2, so 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Who felt motivated by this speech? Okay, none. Okay. Who felt entertained by this speech? Okay, so we've got 2. All right. Who felt persuaded by this speech? So it's actually free for entertainment and free for inspired. Okay, that's interesting. Who felt persuaded by this speech? Persuaded to take an action. Okay, that's interesting. And who felt informed, so educated? Some of us are not putting our hands up. If you can, I'll go back through it again. Who felt inspired? So put your hands up, like really raise your hands here, because it really, like, raise it right up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 of us. Okay. Who felt entertained by the speech? 1, 2. Okay. So 5, 2. Okay. There's a mixed message here. Okay. Who felt persuaded? No one? Oh, 1. Okay. So there's 1. Okay. So first, you see how I'm trying to work out where they're actually trying to think. So where the judges are going to think with this as well. Okay. All right. So that's interesting. I'll write this feedback down for you as well, Furzy. Now,
Can I ask, Fifi, you were persuaded. Persuaded to do what?
Because you remind me to call my mom.
Thank you.
Haven't called my mom for a long time, honestly. And thank God this is Sunday evening in Jakarta and you remind me. So after this, I will call my mom.
Well, you better get on that, Fifi. I'm just kidding. Thank you. Thank you.
Actually, that is a good question. Okay, so I'm going to ask Natalie, how did you feel inspired?
I like how, and I feel inspired because of the message is to see it from the heart and to hear it from the heart. So it like seeing and hearing beyond what you can see or hear. So I felt like inspired in that sense, because sometimes we take it for granted and we don't really stop and think and, you know, like really appreciate it.
Okay, interesting. And Ben, how did you feel entertained by this presentation?
Thank you very much. Okay. The reason why I was entertained is because the speech tone, pace, delivery, kind of message sounded very familiar from one of my favorite speeches that won a contest about 10 years ago. And I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong, Percy, if you took a lot of elements from the 2014 like speech champion. Was it Dianaja? What is this? How do you pronounce his name?
Yeah, Dhananjay Hederachi.
Dhananjay? It sounds like the tone, delivery, some kind of messages, body language. A lot of it sounds similar. And I'm not saying that as an insult, because a lot of people like hearing similar kind of paces where it reminds them of something positive. And I don't know if that was on purpose or something you've done. But again, I was entertained because everything you kind of said, I'm like, ooh, I can feel some of the elements from someone that did win. So that was kind of like it made me kind of focus a little bit more on the overall speech, that it was very similar in that regard. And then the speech kind of just flowed very, very well to each section. But if you correct me if I'm wrong, if that was kind of maybe an inspiration of yours.
No, sorry.
Okay, cool.
But I appreciate it. I'm glad that you would put it at that level. But
well, no. Yeah, go look at it. Trust me, it sounds very similar, and it's a good thing, because like Toastmasters has that kind of formula where, you know, certain speeches or certain things they like, where people like certain things. People like the familiarity, so it might give you that extra edge, I think.
Okay, I'm going to ask two more if that's okay. Two more questions. So the title of the speech that Furzy is working with tonight is I See, I Hear. Now, when it comes to speech contests, when I've judged at the World Championship of Public Speaking, the final and the semi-finals, I look at the syllables and how many I can count if I can remember. So it's a remember thing. So no more than 5 syllables. I see, I hear. So there's 4 syllables. Does everyone think that this title of the speech is relatable and it actually marries up with the speech that you heard tonight? Yeah? Okay. So everyone liked it, Furzy. And lastly, the closing of the speech. The closing is really important because this is something that he's still trying to focus on. Did we feel the closing was rushed, or did we feel that the closing was organic enough to really have that call to action honed in and to drive in? I need to call my mum and to tell her, or call my parent, which I need to do. I need to call my dad and tell him I do love him. The title, do we feel that it was close the deal, or I guess close the sale tonight? I'm going to go around the room, either yes or no. Natalie, yes or no?
I think the closing can end with like a stronger like nuance instead of like question. That's just what I think.
Okay. Keisha, yes or no?
For me, the overall speech was very hooking, was very entertaining, but I felt like I did not really remember what the ending was. I did remember that it ended with a question, and it also called to action about what have you been seeing but didn't see with heart, or what have you been hearing but didn't hear with your heart, and stuff like that. It did call to action, but I think it could benefit, in my opinion, could benefit with more examples. Like recently, I was reading an article in New York Times, and it was really in coincidence with the speech because it was about Asian family and our way of saying love or lack thereof. And basically, this article gave examples about the actions that that Asian families showed their love. And maybe that could be incorporated into the ending of the speech to just give a more like stronger ending and also call to action. That's my opinion.
All right, excellent. So just to save on time, Fifi, yes or no? Just yes or no. Which one?
Yes, for me, yes.
Okay. Yes. Apri, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Nancy is yes. Ben, yes or no?
Can you restate the question again?
So the question is, did you feel that there was clarity with the conclusion of the speech? Did you feel that the call to action was there at the end of the speech?
I didn't get it.
Okay. All right. Rendra, just give us a thumbs up, yes or no, with the closing of the speech. Thumbs up, yes, or thumbs down, no. Okay. I think it's a thumbs down for him. All right, because he's about to board a train to Jakarta. All right, so Furzy, I hope you appreciated the feedback tonight and trying to focus on. So I'll just sum it up. We talked about the Oreo cookies and the sleight of hands that you used with the packet, and also when you brought it out the second time with the actual cookie out of the package. The humor that you have used, especially around the use of the pause and the slightness of the humor in the speech. We focused on the pause and if it was effective or not. We looked at the purpose of the speech. It was a mixed message here tonight. People were either entertained, informed, persuaded. One person was persuaded, but majority were inspired. So 5 of the members were inspired. Did you react and relate to this speech? Everyone said yes, they could relate to the speech. But again, this question of, is it something to do with America versus Asia? So is it something to do with different in I guess in the relationship between how does an Australian, like a Western person versus an Asian bringing up have to do with that? And it's very interesting. What is the title of the speech? Does it actually marry into the speech? Yes. And the conclusion, people are still confused with the conclusion. Some people said no, some people said yes. I hope you appreciated the feedback and that this was able to help you grow and for your next development of the speech. And I'm looking forward to seeing it on Tuesday night.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
All right, so that was the evaluation session for our first speaker. Let's head straight into our second speaker of the day, who will be delivering a regular project. And for that, I would like to invite her evaluator, DTM Natalie, to introduce her speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting, Keisha. Our second speaker, Fifi Amalia Wadi, will be delivering her project, Level 3, Project 2, Focus on the Positive, from Engaging Humor Path. Her speech title is Doctor's Orders, Don't Let Your Belly Laugh with Fat. So the purpose of this project is for her to practice being aware of her thoughts and feelings, as well as the impact of her responses on others. And the purpose of this speech is for her to share her experience completing the project. I will listen for ways the member grew or did not grow from the experience. And the member is not required to share the intimacies of her journal. And this should not be a report on the content of the Focus on a Positive project. Time is 2 to 3 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes. So please give it up for Fifi Amalia Wadi. The doctor's orders, don't let your belly laugh with fat.
Okay, first of all, I will speak. My speech is 5 until 7 minutes. Don't let your belly laugh with fat. That's the doctor's order. I recall a month ago when I did the medical checkup, and when I saw the result, cholesterol, quite good, and okay, the protein and so on quite good, but comes to the sugar, blood, or tendency to diabetes, oh my God, it's quite hard. Then my doctor said that, Fifi, look at your stomach. When I look at that, so what happened, doctor? It's been with me for years. And doctor said that, yes, but can you reduce that? I recall what doctor said, and I asked to myself, oh my God, yes, thank God the doctor reminded me. I was warm welcome with the meeting and visiting customers when we ended with lunch or dinner together and having sweet cookies, drinking sweet juice, even the fruit juice is added by sugar. And apparently they all not good to my health. I share with you 2 funny stories regarding that. 1 week ago, when my daughter was hospitalized due to dengue, apparently she was put in a room with the other woman that was having or just delivered the baby. Because it was 7 days hospitalized, so when my daughter was asleep, I got bored and I just walked to the corridor of the hospital. I remember there was one security stopped me and said that, good morning, madam. I said that, yeah, good morning. And then they said that, are you okay? You look pale. You just delivered the baby, right? Oh my God, even the security noticed my belly was big as if I just delivered the baby. Although in my heart, I feel a little bit happy because maybe I still look young. So that's why the security think that I just delivered baby. And second one, when I was having a business trip, as usual, before onboarding, we sat right at the waiting room and suddenly the officer announced, okay, passenger with business class may onboard first, and later we mean with special needed and also with children can board first. So one officer came to me and asked me, ma'am, do you want to onboard first? I asked, can I? Because I just, in economy class. And he said that, yeah, it's okay. For a pregnant woman, it's okay. I asked myself, what? I'm not pregnant. But yes, since I got that facility, so I get up from my seat and on board to the plane. My fellow Toastmaster and guests, back to the doctor's order. Don't let your belly laugh with fat. It's true. It's true, my friend. What you are going to do this to settle this or to reduce the fat on your belly? The doctor recommend, yeah, you like it or not, you have to change your lifestyle. When our Tom today, Toastmaster Keisha, asked right in the opening of the meeting, what is the resolution for you to embrace your health? Actually, it's just easy. Doctor said that we need to change the lifestyle, reduce anything that is sweet. Of course, at the beginning, it's not easy because as Indonesian, we start our lunch, dinner with something sweet, either fruit or cake. And after you got the main meal, you need to have the appetizer, which is sweet also. So it won't be easy. It takes extra effort for you. So right now, I'm trying my best. Whenever there is a meeting, I look at, oh, I better skip my appetizer. I don't take that cake. Although I really want it. I just prefer to have like, yeah, drink the white water instead of the fresh juice because I know it's fit. And second one is move your body more. At least, for example, 10,000 steps. The doctor said that if you don't make it your life complicated, all you need to do is change your lifestyle, move more. Maybe you can have 10,000 steps per day or get the routine exercise for 30 minutes a day. Or if you said that you don't have much time, then you make it or you complete it at the weekend. My fellow Toastmaster and guests, although I got the facility like can on board earlier than the other passenger because people think that I was in the early pregnancy, but we all know that it's not good to our health. So in order to get healthier, we reduce something that is sweet and also you need to exercise more. Remember what the doctors order. Don't let our belly laugh with fat. Back to Tom.
Give a round of applause for our second speaker of the day, Toastmaster Fifi. And the evaluation will be at the end of the session, so stay tuned for that. But now we're gonna be having a quick group picture, right? Oh yeah, okay. I'll give it over to the Zoom host to lead us.
Thank you. We should have done it before for sick but it's okay. So if anyone can open up their video. Oh yes, thank you, Intan. And Krishna, oh, your photo is enough. So let's take a photo. 1, 2, 3. And now with a pose embracing health. So you can show us that you're healthy, embracing health, whatever you want to do. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Another embracing health. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Back to you, Tom.
All right. So for our next special session, it is the Exco installation. So for this Exco installation, we will be led by our very own Area G1 Director, Toastmaster Apri Widodo. Please welcome to the stage, Toastmaster Apri.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Kaisha. And let's see, before I start, is everyone is here?
Yes.
Except
for Pipit.
Pipit, right? Pipit still not. Yeah. Okay, I will skip Pipit. Yeah. Right, everyone ready, right? And first, I would like to invite my team on the spotlight before starting the induction. So I would like to thanks to these inspired people, the outgoing club officer, for your work and dedication to fulfill your responsibility during the past term. Now, as you are stepping into a new era, you are discharged from our previous duties and responsibility as officer of Bhinneka Toastmasters Club. And next, I will introduce everyone here, the incoming officer of Bhinneka Toastmasters Club. We have distinguished Toastmaster Pipit Andriani as Sergeant of Arms. We have Toastmaster Intan Rabit Sapanti as Club Treasurer. We have Toastmaster Kaisa Slainten as Club Secretary. Toastmaster Krisnanda Mawira as Vice President Public Relations. And we have AWR Rudi Marendratika as Vice President Membership. Next, we have Toastmaster Natalie Cahyati as Vice President Education, and we have Toastmaster Benjamin Witakar as Club President. I'm here to install the officer of Bhinneka Toastmasters Club and to prepare them for the challenge that lie ahead. Their collective challenge is to make this club strong, dedicated to helping people from all walks of life to speak in an effective manner, listen with sensitivity, and think creatively. I will ask each officer to hold the gavel as a symbol of leadership as I briefly describe the challenge they must meet and the responsibility they must fulfill. Okay, I think I can skip the Sergeant of Arms. First, we have Club Treasurer Toastmaster Intan Rawit Sapanti. Your duty is you are the club accountant. You manage the club bank account, writing checks as approved by the club executive committee, and depositing membership due, payment, and other club revenue. You are also in charge of submitting membership to payment to work order, filling necessary tax document, and keeping timely, accurate, up-to-date financial record for the club. Look, the club treasurer duties are usually not the most demanding of all the club leadership positions. The consequences for member can be serious when they are not completed accurately on time. Toastmaster Intan Rawit Sapanti, will you perform this duty to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Next, we have Toastmaster Kaisa Slainten as club secretary. Your duty is to maintain our club record, manage club file, handle club correspondence, and take the minutes at each club and executive committee meeting, You are also in charge of updating and distributing a roster of the current paid membership and keeping the club official list current for Toastmaster International. Though some club combine the club secretary role with the club treasurer, it is the best to have a dedicated club secretary who can help reduce the workload of the club treasurer and occasionally assist the vice president as education as well. Toastmaster Keisha Clinton, will you perform the duties to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Next, we have Vice President Public Relations, Toastmaster Chris Nanda Mawira. You promote the club to the local community and notify the media about the club existence and the benefit it provides.
I think he got disconnected. Can we proceed to Rendra first?
Rendra, okay.
Thank you.
We have Vice President Membership, AWR Rudy Marendra. Your duty is you promote the club and manage the process of bringing in guests and transforming them into members. By initiating contact with guests, helping them feel welcome, and providing them with the information they need to join, you have maintained a constant influx of new people into your club. You also attentively monitor membership level and strategize with the rest of the executive committee about how to overcome membership challenges when they occur. Toastmaster AWR Rudy Marendra, will you perform this duty to the best of your ability?
Rendra, you're still
Thank
on
you.
mute.
You're still on mute. Okay, I think we can go to the next.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Marendra. Next, we have Vice President Toastmaster Jadi. As a Vice President Education, you schedule members, speeches, verify the completion of project, and serve as a resource for question about the education program, speech contest, and your club mentor program. You are an important source of Toastmaster knowledge for club members, and it is your job to become familiar with all aspects of the Toastmaster education program. Toastmaster Natalie Jadi, will you perform this duty to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will. Yes,
okay, thank you. And Toastmaster Benjamin Whittaker, having been elected the club president of Bhinneka Toastmaster Club, you are its chief executive officer and are expected to present at all club meeting and at all regular and special meeting of your executive committee. It is your challenge to see that this club enable its members to achieve their educational goal. It is also your challenge to see that your club help the area, division, district, and Toastmaster International to meet their goals. Please accept the gavel as a symbol of your leadership and dedication to office. The gavel is a symbol of the power and authority given to you by the membership of this club. Use it wisely and with restraint. You are a member of your team as well as a leader. A team is more than a collective people. It's in an emotional force rooted in the feeling, thought, and action for all members with the common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. Work with your team members to create a healthy, dynamic club, a club of which everyone proud. Will you, as club president, accept this challenge and perform your duty to the best of your abilities?
I will.
Thank you. It is now my pleasure to declare this Toastmaster installed into the office to which they have been elected. Will everyone please stand? The growth and the development of the Toastmaster program in Bhinneka Toastmaster Club depend largely upon the action of this group. On your honor as member of Toastmaster, do you pledge to individually and collectively stand by this club, live with it, and work with it throughout the coming year.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's call the new club president to give a 3-minute speech outlining the goal for this term. So, President Toastmaster Benjamin Whittaker.
We don't have time for a 3-minute speech, so I'm going to be more brief. Ideally, we want to continue being the awesome club that we are, very diverse. That's what Bhinneka stands for, is diversity. We want to continue trying to attract people to come in, not just to be here, but to show the value of what Toastmasters can do in their outside life, right? That's really the main focus of this tool. There's a lot of tools out there to better your life. Toastmasters is one way to kind of network, build, and take whatever you learn here and use it in the outside world. And finding people to do that and showing people how to do that is really what it's all about, through mentorship, through actions, and just communication. We got to get people to show up that are in the club. We got to get people to do different roles, right? Give responsibility, right? It's not like me and everyone who's been here. Rendra has been here the whole time. Fifi, Natalie, Pippet, we've all been here. Inten's been here pretty much the whole time too, right? We've done it. We need people like Kesha and Nenshi. I pronounced that right? You are our future of this club, right? So we want you guys to be elevated, so you guys can learn, and then eventually it is kind of cycles back and forth. That's what it's all about. Just keep on building people up and having new young people come in and influence other young people and older people. Back to you.
All right, so that was the Exco installation session. Hopefully every single member, including me, of the new Exco board can carry out the task that is needed to keep on with the amazing club that is our very own Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club. All right, so again, without any further ado, let's jump straight to our most anticipated session, as always, Table Topics session, which is going to be led by none other than our very own Mr. President, Toastmaster Benjamin Whittaker. Toastmaster,
all right,
is yours.
Awesome. Okay, so we don't have a lot of time left since we've had cool new sessions that we've been doing. I think we're going to do how many? 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 speeches. 4 is good. All right, so our theme today is revitalize. To go with that theme, I have a lot of R words that start with re. 7 pick from, but we're only picking 4. So how about our Tom of the day, Toastmaster of the day? Let's pick a number between 1 and 7. Go.
7.
7. Lucky number 7. All right. So your word is resurgence. I'll type your message here in the chat. Describe a moment when a community or organization experienced a revitalization or comeback. What contributed to its success? So it's supposed to be like your community or organization.
When I was in junior high school, I was the president of the student council at my school. And it was fun, but it was during the COVID. And so we did not really do much offline, those big school events. We did not do much of that, but we did have very big, hundreds of participants Zoom meetings, that kind of thing. As the president of the student council, I was in charge of course, organizing the members of the division, each division. There were many divisions, as well as bridging the communication between the whole student body and the school staff, with the teachers, with everyone in the environment of the school. But again, it was during the COVID, because this is a big information. This is an important information. We had many setbacks that were mostly due to communication. It was hard, people, to stay in touch when we were not able to meet each other face to face, and all that we had was a Zoom meeting or a line text message. And we had to carry on big events usually also the events that we collaborated with schools that are outside of our own. So we had to meet up with student councils from other schools through Zoom meeting and organize everything. And there was this one moment where we had a setback because there was a huge miscommunication between the division that was carrying out the event with the division that was doing media publication. So there was a lot of miscommunication with what was actually going on in the event and what was being posted online. And it created a lot of chaos because, again, we were participating with schools that are outside of our own. So social media was a big part of our publication because we were attracting students from outside of our school. So, but in there, I learned a lot about communication and how to maintain it, especially during time when it was hard. And all that we had was facilitated by Zoom meeting. So yeah, that was my story about the moment when my organization made a comeback. So back to you, TTM.
Awesome. Great idea. Student council. I did a speech in 4th grade and I didn't really know what it was. And my speech was terrible. That was my first public speaking. Was not prepared. And no one ever pushed me to keep going. So never know what I would have been if I would have started when I was 10. Or a great job. Way to get it back going, even though during a tough time like COVID. All right. Our timer. Nenshi, you're going to go 1 through 6.
Number 1. Please.
Number 1. I like it. Am I pronouncing your name right? I think I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Nenshi? Nenshi?
People usually call me by Nancy.
Oh, Nancy. Okay. I'm just kind of looking at it phonetically through Indonesian style. Anyways, okay. Nancy, that's better.
How many timer, Ben?
Okay. Here's yours. Rediscovery. Share a moment when you rediscovered a passion or interest. How did it revitalize your life? Remember, word of the day is revitalize. Use that word.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yep, it's in the chat as well. Share a moment when you rediscovered a passion or interest. How did it revitalize your life?
Okay. 2 years ago, I graduated from my high school and I didn't do anything after that. I just go to campus and back to home. My life was like so flat. I found nothing special in my life and I felt bored. 1 year passed and I realized that I should do something. But what can I do? In the past, when I was in my high school, I used to join a organization, but during my campus life, I didn't join anything. So basically, my life is so flat. But then I decided to I decided to do something. I want to practice my English. I used to join English club, but now in the campus, I don't join anything. So I want to practice my English again because I see that the progress, my English speaking skill is decreased. And then I try to figure out how is the way. And one moment I saw on social media about Toastmaster because I used to follow some Toastmaster clubs and the posts appear on my Instagram feed. And then I decided to join the meeting. I forgot which club, but I joined the meeting. And then since that time, I realized that this is the perfect moment for me to practice my English speaking skills again. I felt passionate when I was surrounded by people who are already like what I want to be. And to discover back and how I discovered that is that by realizing and take evaluation for my life. Back to you.
Awesome. That is great. Sometimes when we fall out of a habit, like even a good like community, just time, energy, like laziness, it's unmotivated, and then we realize something, we're missing something in our life. And small little fact, my master's degree is in addiction counseling, right? So I study like addiction. And when we take a certain addiction away, that gap in our life doesn't just close, right? It needs to be filled with something else. And even like subtle good habits, like doing an English club and being in part of a group, you take that out, something needs to fill it. And if it's laziness or something bad, eventually your body and your mind are be like, I need to do something or I'm going to go rot away. And you kind of found it, right? You searched for it. And that's the idea of being part of a positive group. Hopefully everyone around you, you're in a positive, like just environment. And that's a great thing. Good job. Not everyone comes back to the dark side, which is my metaphor of saying this is the good side, but I like being dark. All right. How about our GE? Are you alive?
I am.
All right. 2 through 6.
5.
5 on it. Okay. Your question will be also in the chat. Paste. Re-energized. Share a story about a time when you felt physically or mentally revitalized after, wow, what a very interesting question that you picked by yourself. After a period of exhaustion. That is number 5. I can show it to you guys. It's number 5, but this is perfect, I think.
This is a perfect question because a couple of weeks ago I came here and I literally cried my little heart away. And I was in the crossroads of life and my journey. And since then, things have started to pick up and I've become re-energized again. So the last time you saw me when I was crying my little heart away, I had to have given up the position of district director. I just physically, mentally, and emotionally just couldn't continue on because it looks like I may have lupus, which is a autoimmune disorder, which means that the tissues are, I guess, attacking some of the organs in my body. Wonderful disease to have. But at least I now may have potential answer to all the problems I've been having for the last 2 years. It hasn't been confirmed if I have that, but all fingers and directions are pointing at that disease, which I'm not exactly thrilled about, but hey, it's better than sitting here out in the unknown, which I've been since 2022. So it's a good thing. I stepped down and had a bit of think about it. I was going to quit, but after talking to my 2 mentors who literally held my hand for the whole 2 weeks, including one who made me come and sit there and have, emotional time and talk to him in person, that was really good. I stepped back, reflected, and I ended up getting a position as the area director in District 119 in New York. And they are one of the top districts in the USA. In fact, they are the #1 district in the USA at the moment, and was given this silver platter of opportunity to be the area director of the #1 area in that district. And I have really re-energized, rebuffed, and revitalized and reinvoked my passion for Toastmasters. I love this area. I love the clubs. I love the members, and I love the people. And I don't have to do as much. And I'm sitting and reflecting every time I do something before I do it, so I can actually revitalize my life. That is what I've done. I've shared my journey with them and they're very passionate. So that's the thing. New York, New York, New York. We're going to sing that song like the great legend himself sang. I can't forgive his name at the moment. Thanks, Ben, for the great question.
It's number 5, by the way. That's just hilarious. Serendipitous. And New York, it's Frank Sinatra. Okay. We have one more, and I'm going to give it to our awesome, super cool dude, area director guy. He looks like he's so energized and revitalized. Okay, bro. 3, 4, 6.
4.
4. This is a great question as well. It's going to be rejuvenation. Talk about a place or activity that always revitalizes your spirit. What makes it special? Besides my live stream.
I love hiking because it can make me feel rejuvenated about my life. Actually, I started hiking when about 5 years ago, and before that, I never do it before because in and hiking is a completely different activity with my job because in my job I just working in front of computer and learn see the world, how beautiful the world is. And then I decided to try a hike. And in the beginning, it's really hard for me because I don't have a friend to do that. And then I searched people in the internet, and then I find a group. Then I decided to meet them in real life. And it's very traumatizing experience for me because I never done that before. However, I try to do that, and then I finally find a lot of people that also love hiking, and it's really rejuvenated experience for me because I can meet people that have different perspective in terms of travel and hiking. So yeah, I think hiking is one of the most rejuvenating experience for me because I can meet a new friend. I can see uh, a beautiful things of the world out there that I never discovered before, and it can also make my rejuvenate my spirit so that it can make me more productive, especially if I do my work in my home. So yeah, I think it's one of the most activity that I like, and I hope that I can do that even more after pandemic because I stopped hike when pandemic come, and I hope that I can do it later next year, probably next month to do that. I think that's all for me. Back to Dr. Master.
All right. Hiking is a great exercise. It's free for most part. Make sure you have some shoes. I really liked your opening, Apri. It's so casual. Hiking. I like to go hiking. It's very casual how you delivered it. But your conclusion, you had about 6 times where you could have just stopped talking. Let's work on the ending, smoother ending. Not giving evaluations on table topics, but I just really liked your opening. And the idea of like, going out doing something by yourself. Again, somebody that knew they wanted something and they're like, I don't have any friends. Who cares? Go out and do something. Once you start doing something, people will follow because they're going to see you having an awesome time doing it. And guess what? Here's a secret to life. People like other people that are doing things awesome because they want to do things awesome too. But people are afraid to do awesome things because they don't know how. You can be a leader and show them the way how awesome you are. Take the risk. Good job. All right, we got one more. Beefy. Yeah. Beefy, you need. Oh, no. Did I lose it? Oh, crap. Let me see if I can find it again. Dang it. I think I lost it. Oh, crap. Yep, it's gone. All right, no worries. I'm going to give you one off the top of my head. Oh. Let's see, wait, re-energized, rejuvenated, rediscovery, resurgence, remotivated. What got you remotivated after maybe a time off of doing something you love?
Okay, what makes me remotivate after off doing something that I like? Maybe I can share you one thing that is doing yoga. Previously, before COVID-19, I was active, joined the club yoga, and we had exercise around twice a week. So it gave me energized, although I felt wow, stressful after office hour. Jakarta was traffic jam, and even worse now. But yeah, at that time we still managed to reach the yoga place and having exercise together. Then after or during COVID, the activity was fully stopped. Not only for me, but also for the other members. Until one day, we heard that someone who belongs to our club, our friend in the same club, she was hospitalized. So we realized at that time, she said that she was not feeling well. Her body was a little bit hurt, and the doctor recommend her to do the exercise, any kind of exercise again. Having heard that, so we realized, oh, we need to be back to yoga again, because we all love yoga. So to answer your question, Ben, sometimes we need the motivation to make us come back to the doing the things that we love again. Otherwise, without motivation, we cannot do anything. It's just hoping or wish. Thank you. Back to
All right.
TTM.
Excellence. That's really it. It's again, there's life, man. Life kicks you in the somewhere. Kicks you somewhere sometimes. And somewhere it just doesn't feel good, and then you just kind of go down a little bit, right? And you just gotta someone has to kind of be around you sometimes to pull you and get you back to level playing field, right? You don't want to be too high all the time. The fall is really bad. You don't want to get too low because the climb is really hard. So, you need people to be around you to kind of be honest with you and get you back to that same spot. It's the same kind of thing what Alicia said, because I didn't really get comments in her speech. I said New York and I forgot. But it's similar, right? When you get down and you just realize you have to find people that are going to get you back on track. Because there's a lot of people in this world that can see the positive in you, but if you never spend time with people, it is really difficult. So you got to kind of get yourself out there, be a little vulnerable sometimes, and people will steer you in the right direction. You just got to let them do it, even though for some of us, we're super stubborn, myself included, right? So good job. I think this is actually a really good theme to kind of get us all a little realization to revitalize our minds. Maybe, tomorrow go out there and do something awesome that you haven't done in a while. Or go like Apri, go take a walk outside. Even if it's super hot, drink water. Back to you, Tom, after a timer report.
Thank you so much, Table Topic Master. So hopefully that session, again, can motivate us, can persuade us to, again, do something that maybe we never thought of doing before. We've wanted to for a long time, and well, this is the sign to do it. We've got so many words right here: re-energize, rejuvenate, research, rediscovery. So hopefully that can motivate us to revitalize ourselves. All right, so for the next session is our last session of the day, which is evaluation. So please welcome General Evaluator Alicia.
Thank you very much for that, Keisha. Because we have got the timings listed in the chat, I'm not going to call on the timer tonight. I'm just going to get Nancy to keep on continuing to put the timing into the chat box because we do want to save time. However, we're going to go to the first portion, which is evaluation. Evaluation is the feedback of champions, and Natalie is our district champion from many years ago. Please welcome Natalie, and I know how to say her last name, Chahiati.
Thank you, our GE DTM Alicia Curtis. Fifi, don't let your belly laugh with fat. I would say, let's laugh while being fit. Thank you so much for your informative speech that was sprinkled with a touch of humor. I truly enjoy it. It's very relevant as I grow older. And I totally can see that it comes from your own personal experience. The element of informative speech came from the beginning, where you raise awareness about embracing health, as well as your tips at the end about walking, exercising, and how to take care of yourself. So thank you for that. There are two things that stood out for me from your speech, and I will split it into one from content and one from delivery. One thing that I truly appreciate from your content is your use of humor. It was informative speech, but it was not boring. It was very engaging and funny because you use quite a lot of self-deprecating humor. When you say people mistook you as pregnant woman because of your big belly, and also about the diseases that you slowly accumulated as you grow older. The second thing that I like is also from the delivery part is the vocal variety. You had such an endearing tone in the way you share your speech with others. It doesn't feel condescending. It feels as if like a friendly conversation with friends, which made me interested and compelled to listen to it more. If I can recommend two things to you to elevate the speech into a more informative yet engaging, I will also touch on from the humor and from the vocal variety part. So from the humor, I believe that you can benefit with a better punchline because humor needs to be strong, should be impactful. And let me give you some example. When you say you collected diseases as you grow older, like cholesterols and diabetes and stuff, you can always say, when I was younger, I collected clothes, and now I'm older, I collected diseases like cholesterol. So it gives like a nice comparison. Another thing that you can also give to make the punchline even stronger is to give a little bit exaggeration. When you say people mistook you as a pregnant woman, you can say, pregnant? Just a little bit of drama just to sprinkle it up a little bit more. The second thing that I would like to suggest is from your vocal variety. It was very endearing tone, and I believe you can benefit more with the use of pauses, especially before the punchline and also after the punchline. For example, when you say, I collect diseases. Something like that. So just before and after. Overall, I believe that this is an informative speech with a little bit of humor involved in it. And you did well on the vocal variety and the humor. And I believe you can benefit more by practicing the tone. So, excuse me, by practicing the pause and also punchline. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Natalie. And we'll just get Nancy to put in the chat box the time for your evaluation. I'm going to skip the R counter for a moment because Mr. Ben wants to be the grammarian and he has to go early. Thank you for not doing an acronym because I would have absolutely gotten very angry tonight. I had to hear an acronym the other night and I wanted to kill the person, literally. Thank you, Ben.
The club meeting in Malaysia, huh? No,
yes, no surprise.
All right. Adjusting to these braces. That's been a fun time. Good time. Never late. Better late than never. It's all good. All right. So grammarian, the reason why I wanted to go first, as you mentioned, I have a class at 9 o'clock exactly. Can't be late. So, everyone, I think, used the word revitalize because I think I put it in your table topic. Great job, everybody. Look at that. See, I helped you. Now, one thing I want to say, and this is the very beginning, I didn't do a very good job of grammarian today. I was super focused, and I've been working since 5 in the morning today. It's so a little exhausted. But one thing I did here in the very beginning, and this is for one person in particular, because on Friday I was teaching my debate team, and one of them used the word suck. So it happens. Young people, like even myself, we use the word suck sometimes. And when you're doing something professional and you have this thing called ethos, right? Your credibility as a speaker, there's certain phrases and language that we use in certain settings that will take our credibility away from us and make people think you are younger than you are or even less of an expert than you are. So like for myself, I'm a very casual speaker and in my everyday life and even my speeches. But there are a certain place and time to use certain phrases so people can maintain your credibility, especially if you're in charge of a meeting. Right. So someone got the message. That's really good. And honestly, I really didn't do a great job of getting any over-the-top use of the English language because I just wasn't focused. Apologize. So I think Alicia will probably write a scathing message about my lack of focus as a grammarian, but I did find some ways to kind of improve it, I think. But Alicia can message me later. I'm pretty sure I'll hear from her. She usually is pretty good at that. But other than that, you guys did pretty well overall. Again, good use of the word of the day and just kind of being able to present yourselves in proper English. Not a lot of mistakes, not a lot of grammar mistakes typically. And other than that, great job. Thank you so much. And Natalie will close the meeting. But back to the GE.
Thank you very much, Ben. All right, we will now go to our Arcana. Apri, how do we go?
Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, for the Arcana report, it will be really short because all of you is doing really good job. I did not catch any filler sound from Toastmaster meeting, generator, evaluator, timer. It's very good. We have grammarian just now. Toastmaster Bian, you said 2 times and repeat words. The speaker doing a really good job, and also for the evaluator as well. Next for the topic master, I didn't get any filler sound. We have first speaker, Toastmaster Keisha, you doing a really good job. We have Dr. Vivi, also really good. And we have Nancy, you said 2 times, 1 times during double topic. And we have this Master Alicia, you said 1 times. And I believe I also cast a filler sound when I deliver my speech. And overall, the most used filler sound for today is and Yeah, I think that's all for me. Back to General.
Thank you very much, Apri. All right, and Nancy's put all the details in the chat, so everyone I think is within time. So best evaluator will be Natalie, and best speaker. I'm just having a look to see if our best speaker will be. Let's go up the top. Thursday was 7 minutes and 22, and Fifi was 7 minutes and 1 second. Okay, everyone is within time, so Fifi will be automatically the best speaker for today. I'm going to provide a wrap up of today's meeting. I haven't taken too many notes because I just wanted to just to really feel the meeting tonight. There's sometimes when you just want to be immersed in the meeting, and that's why I felt like as a general evaluator, sometimes we have to sit here and just take it in, and I think it was good to take it in. I felt everyone was engaged. Thank you to everyone for being a part of the meeting tonight. So let's give ourselves a huge round of applause. Big round of applause. Nancy, I usually like to have the timer because they don't really get it. It's more of a silent role. But I think sometimes it's also good just to have it in the chat, especially when you're trying to start a meeting on time and end a meeting on time. So maybe as a tip, Natalie, you might want to consider in the future, if you are running short of time, see how she's really detailed, and I think she's done a wonderful job tonight, detailed in the chat how the speakers, the table topic speakers and the evaluators and certain portions of the meeting. So I think this is actually a backup way if you're running short on time. So Nancy, a huge round of applause from me for being able to continue the meeting on time and start the meeting on time. To our Arcana and Grammarian, Apri, wonderful job. It is something that you really do need to listen to, and I know that my little man in waiting, Rendra, loves to do this role. There's only one other person that knows how to do it like me, and of course that's Rendra. I do like to see the Excel spreadsheet, but I think sometimes it is good to just listen and hear. And I remember a few weeks ago, I was actually at my in-person meeting and I came out with the in-person version of the Excel spreadsheet and went a little bit technical, and people looked at me and went, "What are you talking about?" And then the person who mentors me sat me down and said, "That was a little bit too technical for us." And I said, "I don't care." But I think sometimes when we go back to basics, I really appreciate that as well. So thank you for keeping it basic, and thank you for doing it right. To Ben, I know you're listening to us all here on the screen. Maybe focusing on, so I like the fact that he was thrown in at the last moment with only like a minute to spare by Natalie, and for still doing the role. I think it is one of the harder roles because you do sometimes have to really prepare for it. Though I think one of the things that you could focus on is, what did we actually do well? Did we use alliteration? Maybe focusing on one of the key points or a touch point. And this is like I always encourage clubs to do. If you're not really good with the English language, look at some of the techniques within the English language that you might want to focus on as a key point for that meeting. And it could actually be something called the technique of the day, the grammarian technique of the day. You might want to consider, we're going to look at similes. So similes are you have the word of the day, so revitalize, and you have the words around the word revitalize. So that's the synonyms or the similes. So what are we actually doing? And that's the technique of the day. So the grammarian actually has to think a little bit harder and use that as part of their grammarian report. And that actually brings out for better use of the English language, better use of the vocab of the English language. It's something that I've been training a few of the clubs over in Korea with, and they're really starting to work on that building. It's like a building structure. So you build the elements and build the blocks until you get to the top of the pyramid. Or you can't eat one big elephant at one big time. You have to take small chunks to get to the big elephant at the end of the day. So that's something that I would consider as a thing. And then maybe looking around, what are we not doing in that particular technique of the day as a point for challenge or a point for growth and development. Thank you for the evaluation, Natalie, of Fifi. I think she did a wonderful job with her speech, and I think you brought out the shining points and also what she can grow and develop upon. I like the way that we did our evaluation tonight around Thursday's speech. Just as a heads up, this is not something that's easy to provide feedback on. And even I had to have very strict instructions from him of what he was looking for. So everything I pulled out was based on what he had instructed in a chat box. He wanted me to look at the final 3.5 minutes of his speech. So I actually had to give instructions to Nancy to say, this is where I need you to give the timing point so that I can really listen and focus on about 8 elements that he wants in his speech. So just as a tip, if you're wanting to learn how to facilitate, this is where you get really good with facilitation. Getting one of the big keynote speakers or one of the world champions or public speaking semi-finalists. We can get another one if you want another one for the next meeting. There's one from Sri Lanka who's going to the World Championship. He's looking for speaking slots as well, so that you can get a comparison of the two and having someone else in the club maybe taking up this role as a facilitator. So this takes quite a few years to actually become comfortable with and be able to be shouting the instructions at you as well. But overall, I have enjoyed tonight's meeting. Thank you for putting me into my favorite role. I didn't do the whole Excel spreadsheet and the whole PowerPoint because sometimes I want to sit back, I want to engage with the meeting, I want to turn off the screen, I want to watch the audience, then I want to turn it back on, and I really want to see how am I actually being a part of this meeting. And I thought this meeting was really well done, so congratulations. It's a shame there's not as many members, but I know that a few people are traveling and working today. Thanks, Natalie, and thank you, Keisha. So I'll hand back to Keisha, who is the Toastmaster of the day.
All right, so this is the certification session. Let's start with the first one. Yay, give a round of applause to TM Fifi Amaliawati as the best speaker.
Can someone help me take a photo? Because I cannot do it.
Oh yeah, I can do it.
Let's have a look. There's Fifi.
Okay.
Photo taken.
Photo taken, Keisha. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, we have me. Okay.
Yay! Well, you're the other one. Nice big smile with the braces on.
Thank you. Last but not least, the actual voting. Congratulations to Keisha.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yay.
I'll just take my own picture.
Wait a moment. Let me spotlight you. Gotcha.
Smile.
Yay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. All right. As the acting president, since our club president needs to leave early, I would like to extend a deepest gratitude to all of you who are staying right until the end of our meeting. We are able to conduct such a full-on agenda. We have round-robin evaluation, practice speech, we have expo installation, table topic evaluation. We have everything jam-packed into one session, and we managed to finish before time, just like what we like to do, because time is always precious. So I want us a specific feedback because there are no guests, but I want to hear from each one of you one point or one aspect that we can improve on our next meeting. This is like a member's feedback because I'm the VPE, and you can just share whatever you want to share. This is something that we will take into account. So maybe start with Nancy.
Okay, because today I serve as a timer, maybe the agenda can be sent earlier in the group so that I can take a look, because I was confused during the evaluation, like the DTM Malaysia evaluation. I was confused like how long was the time, and then after I recheck it was 12 to 15 minutes, but I didn't really, it was my bad, I didn't really pay attention. But if it was sent earlier, I think I can be more prepared.
That's an excellent feedback. So we need to send the agenda before the meeting. So thank you for that, Nancy. Appreciate that. Fifi?
Hi, Net. Perhaps we can arrange a meeting during the weekday because sometimes, yeah, during the weekend, we have something else to do. So it's a good, and you want to consider maybe, once in a while, we have the special meeting during the weekday.
Okay, that's a good input. I'm gonna take it and we can bring it in the next EXCO meeting. I think on September we have 5 Sundays, so maybe on the last Sunday or on the 4th Sunday we can do like a weekday if everyone else agrees. Thanks, Fifi. How about Keisha?
I think in my opinion, maybe if, especially when like meetings like this one where we have a lot of agenda going on, it kind of took time away from the table topics session. If I'm not mistaken, not everyone got the chance to do the table topics. So I think that's kind of unfortunate. And maybe in the future, if there's a lot of agenda like this one being stacked, maybe there's some way to organize it in a way that all the important events are not put in the same meeting. Maybe that's my opinion. So we can have more people speaking during the table topic session.
Yeah, good input. This is very unusual. We're putting everything into the same meeting, especially the EXCO installation. That's only happen like once a year or once every 6 months. How many table topic speaker do you think is ideal?
Let's see. I think at least 80 to 85% of all participants. So let's say like I think we had, how many participants did we have today? Let's say we have 6. So at least 5 people can go.
Okay. Let's say if we have 10, then it's 8. Or if we have like 20, of course, not 80%.
Oh yeah, well, yeah,
like,
that will be an exception. Yeah.
Yeah, like around 6 to 8.
Yes, I think that will be ideal.
Okay, good. How about Apri? Apri, you've been like a recurring guest. Anything you want to add to improve?
Obviously, we can gather more people by doing 3 speaker probably. So that's the more speaker, I think the more role player will come to the meeting, so we can have a lot of people during
Okay.
this meeting.
Yeah, so if possible, we do like 3 speakers meeting without any other agenda. Like no EXCO, no round robin, nothing. And last but not least, Alicia.
Yeah, I think more maybe around maybe get rid of the speeches if you're going to have like an educational, because this was an educational moment for you guys, and maybe extend the evaluation and learn a bit more about facilitated feedback, and learning about the panel discussion of how to actually do feedback, because this is a different style of feedback. And then of course do the table topics and have everyone do the table topics.
Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you, guys. We learned from your input, your feedback. I will make sure that every one of your feedback is noted down and can be implemented for our meeting going forward. So thank you again. We will meet on the, let me check my calendar, on the 4th of August I am not going to be in the meeting because I will be flying at the exact time and date. So if someone else can be the Zoom host and open the Zoom room, that would be much appreciated. Anyone who wants to take a role, please contact me. And yeah, I'll see you on the 4th. We will meet again on the 4th of August with the meeting team. Let me check very quickly. The meeting team for the 4th of August is, a moment. A moment. The 4th of August is weaving diversity. Weaving diversity. Okay, as an acting president of Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club, our club meeting on July 21st, 2024 is now officially adjourned. Thank you very much.